Thank you for attending today's webinar. Today's webinar topic is multi-agent AI frameworks in healthcare live demos. So, as you can see in the screen, that we are going to have a demo for different type of the multi-agent AI frameworks. The first one is Mental Agora. It's a mental health counseling. So several AI agents specialize in their field for the mental health treatment. They collaboratively provide some recommendation for the treatment. And next will be the especially the treatment like a recommendation based on also it's the same thing several different type of the AI agent can collaborate to provide like a prison treatment recommendation, especially for like in clinical situation that the clinical supporting kind of the event. And the third one is clinical agent is for the like a clinical trials. So they collaborate each other for the optimization and other like automation of the clinical trial process. And next one is Pharma agent is especially for this one is for end-to-end drug discovery through the multiple AI agent for their specific field to collaborate each other to provide this kind of level end-to-end drug discovery. So I already share this presentation, so you can look at it and then you can see my chat link if you have that before. I think that it's better that to talk about everything and then show the demo. Actually, I will start the demo first, and then you will sense that what this means, and then later that you will through this my presentation, and then you will look at the what the details level, and also like my intention why I am doing this. So my goal that actually unify this kind of like multi-AI agent framework for any type of the healthcare problem. So you will see that my initial approach. Okay, so I will share my. So I just implement this demo using my ChatGPT. So I train my ChatGPT to working as a agent, AI agent for their specific field. So I will show you the interactive demo. Then you can sense that what is meant by this multi-agent collaborate each other. Okay, so I will start demo. So it give you the guideline that it is a multi-agent AI framework for personalized mental health counseling interactive demo. So it show that what is Mental Agora. So Mental Agora is you can see that novel AI framework designed to simulate real-world therapeutic intelligence using multiple specialized AI agent. So unlike a traditional single agent chatbot, Mental Agora engages a panel of the three virtual counseling agent, each embodying a unique psychological strategy, then to analyze, debate, and then respond to users' mental health concerns. So it adopts three type of different specialties in psychological area, and then they are persona to specific kind of like in the practitioner doctors or some other like the expert in the treatment area. So they have their specific law and they provide some suggestion. And then finally, based on this one, there is a orchestrate layer. So there is some one like some oversight of this process, and then they synthesize the result and provide some recommendation. So it's a framework for in like a strategic debating So multiple AI agent, for example, here is framing conditional positively got and solution focus independently interpret the user's concern and express their perspective in an internal debate. And then tailor the counselor creation. So it provides like based on these three different type of specific like a counseling and they try to integrate using the just one like a controlling AI agent and then provide us some supportive kind of like a recommendation for specific like a treatment guideline. So this is based on some research paper. So my intention is that through this research paper that actually I'm interested in to understand in a more deeper level, but more like a very intuitive way to understanding this paper. So this is a research paper. And then I try to make this as a real life implementation. So the practical way to implement. So this, through this demo, so you can feel that how that internally they operate and what is workflow and how they can collaborate and each kind of like agent reasoning because the usually that AI agent is usually that perception stage that they try to understand user intent and what the problem and solution, what the need, what the goal initially. And then based on that, and then using the information input and then search over, and then based on this kind of information, they try to reason. So in this case, is a clinical reason. They think about as a doctor. And then through the reasoning process, and then in the during the reasoning process, if they need it, they go out to search additional information, and also they utilizing memory to reflect the past historical information, and then they also look at the like what kind of like action required. So this give you all the essential part of AI agent can work together. So in the step one, that interactive was I designed to ask me to user to go ahead. So initially, it tried to understand users' intent. So it interacted with this AI agent system. So first thing is to like provide what you think about it, about your concern, your health condition, or whatever. So in this case, particularly targeting mental health. So there are many different type of the concern of the symptoms that you can have if you have mental health, some kind of like problem. So here is it guide you that the what kind of like input they expect. So they provide the example and even you provide some simple things like a word or some other things that you just patchwork whatever you think about it, it will automatically lead to you more fully developed input. So for example, that I want to use this one, for example, that so I want AI agent using this input. So based on this input, the AI agent that actually the have a role in the initial part of the interaction, try to start the reasoning for the like the actually this perception says at what the user intend, what the next step is going to do, right? So it talk about like okay, so I understand what you mean. So it understand and then it prepare to the next step and then go to next step and through this one so it introduces you like that I need a special concern you to like support with like a type one sentence or a paragraph describing something recently struggling with emotional and cognitive behavior. So use the example. And then it start over like in the next step that based on this information, what you think about it, what your condition, what you're concerned about, it has a full information about your current status. And then pass over this information to the next step. And then there will be the different type of the AI agent will be take a role. So you will see that in the next step. So, three type of different type of the AI agent specifically trained for their lore. So it started to like from my perspective, the feeling of overwhelming might actually reflect how deeply you care about both your professional responsibility and your personal relationship. So it tried to give you some best the current situation diagnostics and then based on that, what will be the best way to provide some kind of treatment recommendation based on its law? So, and then unconditional positive regarding it is a very positive way to provide answer. So, what you're feeling is completely valid, right? Because it's no concern, and it try to encourage you. That's just can feel about it, and then encourage you. Try to make positive way to recommendation. And then there is like a solution focus is more like a focused on solution. So one small thing that you might try is setting a gentle boundary for just 15 minutes a day. So it provides a specific solution to do. Like I say, before one is more prescriptive, and here is more like a specific treatment how you do. For example, is the uh, here is like for example do something you need to act something like a specific guideline and then it based on these three different type of the recommendations. So there is uh, another array of the AI agent actually the look at oversight holds these three different type of the AI agent. It tried based on like a question in the input, like which one is be weighted more and less. So it tried to do give like a reframing to unconditional positive regard is three. And then it tried to give you synthesize it. Please give you like a counseling. So it give you like a personalized to to patient doctor's relationship kind of the simulation. So for example, that I put my Alex. So Alex, and then they try to like more personalized, right? Because I have my personalized counselor. The name is Alex. Alex is AI, but it tried to interact with you guideline after the process. And then give you the try to give you the what is the recommendation based on this reasoning. And then it give you the complete recommendation. Makes sense that you are feeling overwhelmed, balance work and personal life is one of the hardest things to work, especially when you care deeply about doing both. So it give you the very practical guideline as a counseling way, right? So this is the one thing that you can do that you can start over with a different demo. I tried many different type of the demo with a different type of the info. It worked very well. So you see that this is the one snapshot that how the multi-AI agent in healthcare can give you very practical and clinically like uh, very useful things like whether guidelines is supporting or whatever that you will see in the next demo. So I will go over next one. So it the previous one is specific targeting specific like health condition. So you can think about different type of the health condition, right? So as you mentioned initially, that my intention is not specific focus on this case. Then you can only apply for this case, right? What I'm interested is generalize this one because there are many different but the same different topic, but the same similar situation happen in kind of this kind of like not just for the mental health, any kind of like a doctor's recommendation required, right? And then you can. I'm not a like particularly specialty in the medical field. I'm not a medical doctor, but uh, the all the like practical practicing doctors or the in professional healthcare area, they have their own way to like doing counseling, like medical and healthcare counseling. And then once they have a well-established framework, my intention is to, based on the framework, to easily design this kind of AI agent. So it'll be is a persona of you, right? Because if you are the psychic or you are the like neurological doctors, whatever, right? And then you have a specific like a framework, like based on your knowledge, experience in your field. And then it'll be the same like a framework, right? Because I'm going to generalize this one and then and try to do make how this can be helpful in the future, like as a platform. So in my final goal, maybe like just like a no code type that you have a framework. So you interact with my platform and then you provide interactively provide what you think about like what you want to do. And then you talk about my framework is that based on my experience in the clinical things in my field. I think that the counseling with the patient and the patient talk about this, and then I think about the I think that I'm thinking about this rule we have for to think about for the reasoning and then provide what kind of like specific law required, what kind of like outcome needed. And then it'll be walk through in my like internally in the workflow in the platform, and then you just design it, and then it give you the full blueprint of the what kind of like this kind of the multi-agent AI framework can be implemented as a solution, and then you can use it. Right? That's my goal. So next one is it's kind of like a different type. It kind of like a concern about some specific disease, and then it try to give you some supporting you in the like clinical reasoning that what is the best treatment for specific situation or patient. So I will show demo. So this is the motivation is same thing. So this is based on some paperwork and that's academic work and then try to convert to like it can be commercialized and they can practically implement and they can be utilizing for my proposed more general platform to development. Okay. So multi-AI agent framework for pre-instant treatment recommendation. So it give you like for example is TX agent is a modular multi-agent. Particularly, this name is I just used the original paper's name, so I didn't change it because I want to credit to them. So initial research, but this demo and then all things is done by me. And then text agent is a modular multi-agent AI system that's simulate a way to clinical team collaborate to determine safe, effective, and personalized treatment plans, right? So, so it give you like a critical reasoning is a key, right? And then it also using the some tool, right? For example, that during the reasoning process required additional information, utilizing tools and outside database. And for example, FDA labeling lookup, drug interaction checkup, something like that you require, and then you need to like some kind of like a tools or some kind of like information retraction, something like that. And then it provides like a patient specific personalized and then it additionally how you reach that reasoning. So it gives you explainability, right? Because a traditional AI, for example, machine learning or deep learning is a black box. So if you get some outcome, you don't know how to reasoning inside. But this is the one try to do avoid the situation to make more like evidence based and more transparent answer. So you can feedback what kind of like a reasoning leading into the final outcome, right? So it gives you the explainability and traceability. So here is some reference that okay. So it's same thing. It's starting that what your patient has condition, right? What you think about it. So it needs some like a clinical scenario example like so okay, so I will start with 6 year old when hypertension or something like that, chronic disease, whatever the like a multi like comorbid symptoms expressed. So it try to understand perception that the what the condition, like a population condition and what you want to do, right? And the same thing in the next level, it assigns some specific AI agent doing their role to get the conclusion. So, for example, disease identification agent is a diagnostic, right? Because what kind of disease, right? Is it try to understand and then what is the current like symptoms and then it give you like some diagnostic about it. And then what kind of like a pharmacotherapy analysis agent, and then for this kind of like a diagnosis symptoms, what kind of like a drug treatment will be best. It try to understand what the best drug for this situation and risk filtering agent. So if you have this treatment, this drug, and what's the risk, and then it try to give you a caution about using this one, better like a treatment have some side effects. So it try to do imbalancing. Okay. And the compatibility and the interaction agent and it is like it try to give you like what might be the like a competitively kind of like the treatment you can have it, right? And then it try to synthesize. So and then interpreting insight for all different clinical agents to generate a safe, effective, and personalized treatment recommendation for this specific person, patient. And then interaction summary. So it give you the all different of the AI agent provide, and then try to finalize recommendation. So it set up the what is the primary option that discontinues. I don't know about this drug name, but anyway, because it provides what kind of like a drug will be used, and then rational give you that why you choose this one, and what kind of like drug adherence you can have it, right? And then what kind of like alternative options, right? And then generate like what kind of like so it give you how you get this kind of recommendation. So it give you like explorability and trace. So it give you go over like the uh, the through this process an agent to think about this stage, each agent think about this. It give you exploration that what the reasoning was there, and then you why you choose this recommendation. It give you detail about like why you choose this one and instead of others. So it give you some like exploration that what happened in the reasoning process. Okay, then I will go over the next one. So it give you like in this is a clinical agent as I mentioned is kind of like this demo will simulate the intelligent end-to-end evaluation of a clinical trial using a virtual team of the expert AI agent, each specialized in a different domain of the trial design, right? So you can feel that they are very similar structure. That's why that I motivate. I started this 4 different paper and developing demo, and I find that are very similar in structure. That's why I will introduce a unified framework whatever you have some your specific framework, you how to easily design based on this framework. So define the clinical trial objective. So you need to what you want to do in your clinical trial objective. So it give you like some example, right? So for example, that I'll use this one, right? So all that one that I tried is in a different type of in the like TX agent for this one and other because of time limitation I only show one demo, but they can work very well in other different situations. So it tried to evaluate the feasibility of phase three trial novel GLP-1 agnostic for obesity in adolescents across U.S. urban centers. And then it tried to simulate multi-agent clinical reasoning, right? So simulate multi-agent clinical reasoning. So efficacy agent he is concerned about efficacy. So I query. So it used tool like outside the database, drug bank and HelioNet. I don't know if I haven't used this one. I'm not a subject matter expert in this field, but I try to do design to look at some specific kind of like outside tool to have some reference to have their reasoning, right? So they have information from this database and then have a reasoning process and they give you the like alpha, like for example, drug class GPR1 receptor agonist, and then it try to give you the what is the like efficacy of this clinical trial and the safety, right? And then it's the same thing, right? Because you look at the outsider database and look at it, and then the normal agent to the actually the in clinical trials that what kind of like a patient to be involved in this day clinical trials, and then go to next step. And then it tries to do understand reasoning, right? And then it tries to analyze key vulnerability, identify enrollment, eligibility, retention, IBR complex. Actually, to be honest, I'm not a expert in this field, but so I cannot verify that whether this is mean. But anyway, because based on this whole synthesis, it's very reasonable. And then go yes. And they try to give you the, like a predictive simulation. So when this kind of like a clinical trial, and they have some prediction, and then it give you some kind of like a protocol simulation result, and they give you like what would be the successful, what would be the efficacy or something like that, and recruit the timeline, and then something like what kind of like situation was that, and the best performing protocol, and then this kind of thing, and then it tries to give you external tool integrations. It tries to get the external tools to have this one, right? And then go to next step. It give you the what the like the finally that what the strategically the reasoning that what is the best way to concern about your like clinical trial optimization, whether it be successful or not, what if the risk factors, what kind of like a strategic guideline you can have it, right? And then you summarize everything in the reasoning, starting from the info and then complete the interactive demo. So the how clinical agent framework power, this is the one provides, for example, that the clinical trial concept phases trial of the GPR obesity across the urban centers. And then a agent highlight efficacy and safety in normal to reasoning agent simulation agent and recommended protocols. So they give you about what will be the recommended protocol, successful probability and a recruited timeline and drop rate and the key features. So and then it give you a final takeout, right? So I cannot verify that I've never experienced in this field, but I think that this is reasonable. This is the one actually that I organize this webinar to call to participation of the experts in different field of in the healthcare domain to make this one because it requires a train, especially based on large language model. So the domain expertise literally required to have a better like reasoning and a better outcome. And finally, that I will show you Parma agent. So this is a drug discovery. So it give you like a define the drug discovery objective. So please describe your drug discovery challenge by providing following. So it has your like a problem. This name and description, target organization. It give you even the example, like develop a novel treatment for something. I don't know about this name, but in broad brain barrier, low symptoms topic or something like that. And then it try to give you guideline about your drug discovery process. Uh, it based on this initial uh, input about this drug discovery process and the novel treatment for this drug, then potential blood-brain barrier, something like that. And they try to multi-agent drug discovery reasoning to target discovery agent. So identify target, right? So I don't know about detail, but it tried to give you some target and lead identification agent in pipeline, something like that. And then output and then complete it. And in the design engine, based on interaction map, I propose a following refinement. So it guideline even the in the drug like a discovery that the refinement and then generation agent to give you some and then diffraction agent after three observation round improve the tube, something like that. And selection agent give you the like a selected top candidate molecule, especially for this is small molecule drug for preclinical evaluation based on composite scoring, something like that. Then go to the candidate evaluation. It give you like some assessment agent, give you like some kind of like a drug safety and other features, and the synthesis assessment agent provide the feasibility of this one, and then based on that, and then assessment give you like what the this like a drug discovery process the like some kind of like a go no go so that if you have a compound this one in small molecular count is if it's successful to discovery is go with it or not, so it give you the guideline and give you the final thing. So this is done, right? So I take another example. It also learn very well. Okay, so then I will go over my slide. So I already shared this one to explain what detail about it. So you can see that was the detail about the Mangola framework. So I recommended to look at it because I don't have time to go over everything, but I provide very, very compact but very detailed explanation about each different type of this multi-agent AI system. So please look at it. And I will be go to the my final goal. Okay, so here that I what I'm trying to do is to unify the multi-agent AI system. So this is my final goal. Because yeah, actually that if I collaborate the subject matter expert, and I can like refine this demo to actually can implement like more detailed level and like a deep dive type of demo, and then also like actually implementing provide more things. So individual one have valuable. But my final goal is to unify everything to provide a much useful tool. So I analyzed this four different type of they targeting very different area. But I found that the framework very similar structure. So I try to understand like what is the best way to approach as a unified scheme. So this is kind of like I layer by the architecturing, the input and problem understanding layer, and agent orchestration assignment layer, and domain specific agent execution layer, tool integration, data access and exploration, reasoning trace, output synthesis and exploration. I just tested it, and then using these five different layer, actually the previous one can be mapping to every layer. So I did this one, so the Mentagora, and then you've seen the demo, right? And then they can each stage of the demo, the workflow and different type of the AI agent law working together, so they can be successfully mapping to each layer. And then here is the same thing for the TXGen. So you can see that I tried that it nicely to map it each different layer, and also like this kind of like clinical agent is like a same mapping enable, and so this one. So I actually developed up to now, and then I try to do now is recently I was very busy. I advising several startups, and then also and sometimes I go out on behalf my startup the pitch, and then recently went to New York and attending the big AI agent the like event, and then gave a pitch for one of my startup company as I'm a strategic advisor. And then yesterday I've been to the Boston area pitch to discuss about some other like a multi-agent system that I like give advice. But I researched this up to now that it's very positive that it can be unified. And then I told you that my goal is to I tried like develop very useful tool that very similar situation in any healthcare domain that have this kind of like well-defined framework can be developed, and then they can put in my platform, and then it give you like very very good to the blueprint of the what kind of like a component it is, what kind of agent it is in the all detail, and then you can work like if you are the like doctors, and then you don't know about technical guideline, because you put in your whatever in the medical domain put in here, it understand it'll be this platform will be AI agent. So understand your problem and converge to this framework, and then it try to understand all these different type of the situation, and then it'll give you the like a blueprint what kind of like your multi-agent system should be, right? Because it give you a blueprint, and then you can hire if you really want like you don't have any technical expertise, you can hire outside expert to actually implement it for you, and then that'll be only for you too, right? So that's my goal. So what I'm doing, right? Then I'm calling to, for example, the each layer of the medical specialties and drug discovery, clinical trial. I'm not not an expert in the field, and I'm very expertise in kind of like this kind of thing, like innovation, and then understanding and renovation, make a simple, and then developing the innovating new tools and new innovations, something like that. But I'm not cover. I cannot. If I also study a lot in different areas of the healthcare domain for myself, but I'm not a medical doctor, so I cannot understand every field. So I really call to you to join me to make this one in more better way to, and then it actually can implement in healthcare domain. And it'll be really game changer. So I want you to participate with me, right? Because if you're someone actually that actually I'll stop here, then to attend my webinar over for 2 years, right? And some maybe have seen my endeavor, right? Recently, my learning curve accelerate, right? Because I study all field of the digital health and AI in healthcare, and try to do innovate my own. And then if it's someone that I already developed like a dozen kind of like a different type this kind of AI agent and with the demo. And I called to the collaboration to help me to make this kind of like my own kind of innovation to be real. I'm doing one by one, but I really need collaboration help from this healthcare community to participate with me to make this. I really that in the ideal level they are game changer, groundbreaking. But in actual implementation, I still need a lot of the expertise from other peers. So please to like I want someone to participate with me to collaboration. Okay, so thank you. So I will have some interactive like Q&A. So okay, so how you design build this AI agent pairs? That's my know-how. I'm very expertise. I developed this kind of as I told you that I filed 7 patents about my framework. And the key hint is the first thing you need to design very, very well defined framework. Otherwise, you cannot train your like AI, right? So as I told you, it is based on large language model. So you need to train, but you should understand the train is not like a traditional way to like, for example, I'm not a expert in the coding, right? I understand code. I know about like Python, C, whatever, right? My background is science. I did my PhD in physics. My PhD thesis is very highly like big data analysis using AI. Not at the time it's not AI, but using the digital tools to analyze and then develop the computer simulation in the like a supercomputer environment. So I'm very familiar with the computing and the coding, but I'm not a practical like a coding expert engineer. But I understand the workflow, and then I'm very good at prompting engineering. So all of my design is based on prompt engineering coding. So this is coding, but it's like a prompt way, right? Hallucination using this framework? No. You know that why? Because the hallucination means that if you on like a control, and then if you not check the year whether you don't have any like some checkup, but in this case actually the it based on that there is a checkup price that usually you know about the leg, right? Because it tried to like verify that we have your verified answer or not. So it have a based on that the principle. So I don't have any hallucination except that the problem is that I use my own ChatGPT. So you know that you have a lot of experience, like for example, it give you away sometime like out of my instructions, something like that. I found that it give you that kind of like like expected behavior from the ChatGPT, but for the kind of answer that it feel like a well limited, right? That's why that I need the subject matter expertise, like to verify the answer and then try the guideline that it give you. For example, that the ChatGPT is kind of like whether you design your AI agent and then in the design wise, actually the self-learning design if you design it, actually it learn. Right, because I experienced that long. So if you do more simulation, it much smarter than in initially. But through this self-learning process, actually, that you teach this platform to be more like more careful about the answer about that. So it require a lot of the training process, but for this kind of thing is and then like some area is a very very high risk. For example, very directly related to like patient care or something like that. But for this kind of thing is a little bit is in the medium risk factors, so you can apply if you are very confident. So, and then Moodstreet, I just mentioned that it is based on some special expert provide their framework, right? So this is done by me based on paper, but if you have a very special expertise in your field, and then I collaborate with me, then you can design very the better like a platform because I know that if you provide a framework, I can design it. I'm very expertise. I done this one multiple times. So if you want to collaborate with me, just let me know. I don't know, but this one actually, I just all the like a database is not. I didn't provide. I just adopt as it is from the paper. So if you wanna look at the detail, then I recommend you to look at the original paper. So any recommendation, any comment about this? Okay, so like I really had a time to I don't know because I'm very strategic. I work very well, and then I try to do get attention from people that this is really groundbreaking and game changer. If you look at ever in the my before the like a webinar, then I developed this kind of like a similar depths and very useful in other different area using AI agent, and they are all like proven by the demo. But still, I still have time, need time to like more like recognition from the community to have a kind of like a sponsor or the like a collaborator. Anyway, I will keep going on because I know that the one thing that I can do is persistent because I'm going to keep going on because I spent almost 2 years to do this, right? But I think the healthcare area is a valuable field because I've been to 30 years in whole like a high-tech area, starting from semiconductor, telecommunication, and IT, and software, and other like a digital field, AI, blockchain, all field. But healthcare is my final endeavor that is worthwhile to try this kind of try. And then who knows? In sometimes the people think about my think my work is valuable. They can get some sponsor, and I'm still looking at. But anyway, okay. Okay, thank you. Yes, encouragement to me. So I will keep going on. But situation is getting better because I recently someone recognized my work, right? But I think that my experience is that I've been in a different area and the different like industries have a different characteristic, and I think that the healthcare is most difficult. Not just the subject matter, but the people. So get the recognition from this healthcare professional is, I think, the most difficult for me compared with the other field. But I think that I'm getting better, right? And then my recognition is something that, for example, that I invited several speaking opportunity recently. So I who knows, right? In the near future, I can be fully supported and make all my innovation can be in real life and it can be useful and contribute to healthcare community. Okay. Okay. So thank you for attending today's webinar and I hope to see you in the next webinar. A little bit more better way to like to touch more to significant like a problem in healthcare using AI agent. And then I will once I have a good outcome, I will share with you. Thank you. Bye bye.